What if your hands are hiding secrets about your destiny that not even you know about? Most people don't know this, but there are extremely rare signs in the hands that are hiding that could reveal signs of greatness, that could reveal a specific and powerful skill that not even you know about. In this video, I'm going to be revealing 7 extremely rare signs that only a small percentage of us have. So let me know if you have these. We will begin with the cross on the Jupiter mount. It is a sign of someone who is able to form long-lasting and loving relationships. It's a very fortunate sign. It's a sign of an empathetic, compassionate person, and a sign of a faithful person, a sign of a faithful relationship in life. It's a really fortunate sign because it means that this person, a person who has this marking, will have a fruitful, long-lasting, loving, and positive marriage relationship. It is a sign of great emotional intelligence and awareness. And this hand just so happens to have exactly this marking. It's always seen on the hands of people who are essentially very happy in their marriage. It's not extremely rare, but unfortunately, not everyone has this. The next sign we will be looking at here is right down on the wrist line, otherwise known as the recette. And what we're looking for here is a triangle that forms off of the uppermost wrist line. Two lines that kind of form upwards and meet in the middle off of this wrist line, and this creates this triangle-like formation. And what this means is property. It's acquiring property. It's often seen on the hands of people who are supported by family in some way, potentially inheriting property, or they are loaned money, or in some way just sort of supported on the sidelines whilst they pull their own money together. It's a very fortunate sign. I wish I saw it more often. People with this sign always have fortunate family members, supportive family members. It is essentially a great sign of wealth and fortune, of prosperity. The next extremely rare marking we're going to be looking at here has to do with the fate line, the line that runs up the center of the hand in a vertical fashion, normally landing somewhere on the Saturn mount. Now, most people have a fate line, that's not rare, but the formation seen at the end of the fate line, which I'm going to mention, is rare. It's very rare indeed, and really only, I would say, less than 1% of people have this. If you have a fate line that ends in a fork, ends in what is known as a trident, a three-pronged fork, if it reaches out, branching out towards the other mounts of Jupiter and Apollo at the same time as Saturn, this is the most fortunate and rarest formation of the fate line that there is, and is absolutely the most fortunate because their career is essentially attached to a sense of ambition and fulfillment, as well as a sense of joy, prosperity, and success. This is easily the most fortunate kind of fate line formation there is, and for that reason, it's just extremely rare. We only really see it on the most successful, as well as the most happiest people, and those two combined, because not everyone successful is also happy. I think I've only ever seen this once before. It's extremely rare, and that's quite unfortunate. I wish I saw it more often, but then again, people with that sign probably wouldn't be looking for a palm reading because they've got everything they want and need. Now, this next one is very rare, and you're going to have to dig a little deeper with this one and get your magnifying glass out. Now, this next one is very rare because it's regarding a rare type of fingerprint, but it's also regarding on which finger it lies on, making it even harder to find. And really, I've only ever seen this once or twice. And there are several different types of fingerprint pattern. But this one in particular, and I want you to have a close look at your own hands. If you have this, it means you have an exceptional and powerful gift in perception. This type of fingerprint is known as the peacock's eye, and the finger on which you need to see it on is the index finger, your Jupiter finger. It is essentially a whorl with inside a loop, and it gives this impression of a peacock's eye on, the tail feathers of a peacock. And really, this provides some sort of extra sensory, um, powerful uh, judgment, willpower type skill set that is extremely unique. It is a skill that enhances perceptive abilities. It's a type of intuitive ability that is extremely rare and highly beneficial to the hand's owner. If you have this on your index finger, please do let me know in the comments. In fact, send me an email. I'd love to see. Our fingerprints in combination can reveal to us our life purpose as well as our life lesson. Now, this next palmar marking consists of two lines. It consists of the lifeline itself as well as a Mercury line. It's actually really easy to misinterpret, but this sign is rare, and I only see it on a very small handful of people, a very small percentage of people. It's known as the V in palmistry, and it's actually known in Russian palmistry as the marking of protection from vampires, which is kind of where it gets its name from. This essentially, in Eastern palmistry, this sign is seen as an extremely fortunate sign. It's a marking of excellent luck. You know, it's a sign of a very lucky person. In Western palmistry, it's more about utilizing a person's instincts in order to make the most out of every given opportunity. So it's kind of asking that question: is it the person who is instinctively making the right choices, or are they just lucky? In any case, this is a remarkable sign to see, and it's a very lucky sign. Uh, I believe Vladimir Putin actually has this in his hands. Let me know if you have this armor marking. Now, this next sign, I think there's probably more videos about this on YouTube than any other rare armor marking next to the Mystic M. This is the Mystic Cross. Now, again, this is really easy to misinterpret. This is one of those signs that a lot of people think they have on their hands and actually they don't. And I'm going to explain why and how that is. The reason is it needs to be completely isolated. It needs to be separate from any other line, not touching any other line. And I'm really pleased I can show you with actually the hand I have here. I want you to look really closely here. In between the heart and the head line, the Mystic Cross lies, if you have one at all. This is not a Mystic Cross. This is the Fate line crossing the headline and touching and crossing the heart line, with another line that is either coming from the heart line or the headline, and it's affecting every area of their life. This is not a Mystic Cross. For it to be a Mystic Cross, it needs to be completely isolated, completely on its own, and not touching anything else. Now, the reason why it's called a Mystic Cross is because it's always on the hands of mystics. It's always on the hands of psychics. It's a very psychic sign. Psychic people aren't everywhere. They are quite rare, and so this sign is also quite rare. It's always seen on the hands of highly spiritual people, monks, priests, people who are very high up in some sort of spiritual order. Very often have this sign because it reveals a profound advancement in a kind of spiritual knowledge or practice, but also again found insights in terms of perception and real awareness. A real kind of psychic ability is always seen on the hands of mediums, telepathics, of seers and prophets. There are actually lots of different variations of how this cross can form. Sometimes it can be a little bit crooked, sometimes it can be more like an X or a cross. So, sometimes it's found actually almost sort of on Jupiter itself. And the further this, I mentioned the cross on Jupiter earlier on, the further that cross is towards, away from Jupiter, the more perceptive, the more psychic that becomes, the more emotional intelligence becomes clairsentience, becomes an awareness of other people's emotions and also thoughts. The Mystic Cross is extremely rare. It has nothing to do with money. It won't give you superpowers. It won't let you shoot lasers from your eyes, contrary to a lot of what other videos might say online. But it is extremely rare. It is very, very commonly misinterpreted in the hands as well. Let me know if you think you have a mystic cross on your hands in the comments, and please do shoot me an email with your hands if you like. I'll happily clarify that for you. There is just such a great deal of misinformation out there when it comes to palmistry. It's one of my bugbears. This next one I'm really pleased to present to you because it's a really positive note to end on, and it's extremely rare. And if you look really closely, it is here. Let's just look way down at the bottom of the lifeline here, and you can see a mole right at the very end of the lifeline. And it's an extremely rare marking. I almost never see it. I have seen it on the hands of Jin from BTS. It is a sign of a fortunate life, essentially. It's a sign of a very happy, prosperous, peaceful, and successful life. Please do let me know if you have any of these signs, and if you'd like your palms read by me, please do visit my website, piscespalmist.com. Thank you so much for watching, and please do subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.